She laughed. Oh please, like you'd actually leave me. During our biggest fight ever. I said, watch me. What she came home to the next day made her stop laughing forever. The note I left made her realize I 31 male packed up my entire life in 6 hours. Every book, every memory, every piece of furniture I'd bought. The apartment we'd shared for 2 years went from ours to hers between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. while she was at her friend's place, still laughing about our fight. Let me back up. Cassandra, 29, and I had been together for 4 years, lived together for 2. On paper, we looked good, both professionals, similar interests, attractive couple. Our friends called us couple goals. If only they knew. The thing about Cassandra was she had this way of making everything feel like my fault. Late on rent because she spent her half on clothes? I should have reminded her. Her car broke down because she never did maintenance? I should have checked for her. She got written up at work for chronic lateness? I should have woken her up earlier. And I did it, all of it. For 4 years I managed her life while she lived it. The fight that ended everything started over something stupid. Dishes. I'd asked her to do them while I was at a work conference. Came back 3 days later to a sink full of moldy plates and fruit flies. Cass, I asked you to handle the dishes. She was on the couch scrolling TikTok. I forgot. Just do them now if they bother you so much. That's not the point. I asked you to do one thing while I was gone. She rolled her eyes. God, you're so dramatic. They're just dishes, Theo. It's not about the dishes. It's about respect. Partnership. I can't keep being the only adult in this relationship. That's when she laughed. Not a chuckle, but a full belly laugh. Adult? You think doing dishes makes you an adult? Please. I pay 70% of our rent because you're between jobs again. I cook, I clean, I manage our bills. What exactly do you contribute? She stood up, still smirking. I contribute plenty. Who decorated this place? Who plans our social life? Who makes sure you don't dress like a complete dork? You decorated with my credit card. Our social life is your friends coming over and eating our food, and my clothes were fine before you decided they weren't. See? This is your problem. You think everything is about money and chores. What about emotional labor? What about the energy I put into making you less boring? Less boring? I'm boring because I want a partner who does the bare minimum? She laughed again. Harder this time. Partner? Oh, Theo, you really think you're partner material? Look at you. Getting worked up over some dishes. No wonder your ex left you for someone more exciting. That hit different. My ex didn't leave me for someone exciting. She left because I was working 80-hour weeks to support us both. But Cassandra knew that. She just didn't care. You know what? You're right. I am boring. I'm so boring that I actually follow through on my commitments. Ooh, scary. What are you gonna do? Make a spreadsheet about it? No, I'm going to leave. That's when she said it, the words that changed everything. Oh please, like you'd actually leave me. She flopped back on the couch, already back to scrolling. You can barely match your socks without me. Where would you even go? Your mom's basement? Watch me. She snorted. Sure, Theo. Pack your little bag and go stay at a hotel for the night. I'll see you tomorrow when you realize you can't live without me. I stood there for a moment, watching her. She didn't even look up from her phone. 4 years, and she was so sure I'd never leave that she couldn't even pretend to take me seriously. Okay what? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. She waved dismissively. Don't forget to take your anxiety meds. You get all weird when you skip them. I went to our bedroom and grabbed a suitcase. Threw in enough clothes for a few days. She probably heard me, but didn't come check. Why would she? In her mind, I was just being dramatic. I'd be back by morning, apologizing for overreacting. 20 minutes later, I texted her, going to Jake's for the night. We'll talk tomorrow. Her response, lol K, bring back coffee when you come crawling back. But I didn't go to Jake's. Update 1. I sat in my car outside our apartment building for a good 10 minutes, engine running, just thinking. 4 years of my life. 4 years of being told I was boring, uptight, too sensitive. 4 years of managing someone else's life while they laughed at me for it. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through our text history. Do you know what I found? Hundreds of messages of me asking her to do basic things. Take out trash, pay her phone bill, call her mother back. And her responses were always the same. Later, forgot, chill out, stop nagging. But what really got me were the money requests. Venmo for this, cash for that. $200 for hair app plus. $50 for Uber, card declined. $300 for girls' weekend shopping. I'd sent her over $15,000 in the last year alone, on top of paying most of our bills. That's when something in me just clicked. She was right about one thing. I was predictable, reliable, boring, dependable Theo who always came through. Time to be unpredictable. I drove to a 24-hour storage facility, rented a unit, then drove to Home Depot and bought boxes, tape, bubble wrap. By midnight, I was back at the apartment. Cassandra had left for her friend Portia's place around 11. They were having wine night, which meant she wouldn't be back until afternoon at the earliest. Her location sharing, which she insisted I keep on for safety, confirmed she was across town. I started with my office. Computer, monitors, desk, chair, all mine, all purchased before we met, boxed and labeled. Then the living room, my gaming console, the TV I'd bought, the sound system. The coffee table I'd found at an estate sale and refinished myself. You don't realize how much of ours is actually mine until you start separating it. The kitchen was interesting. All the good cookware? Mine. The stand mixer she used once for Instagram? Mine. The expensive knife set? Definitely mine. I left her the mismatched plates she'd had since college and the novelty mugs her friends gave her. By 3 a.m., I'd gotten through most of the apartment. What I discovered was shocking. Nearly everything of value I'd purchased. Her contributions were throw pillows, wall art from HomeGoods, and empty picture frames she never filled. I hired movers from TaskRabbit. 4 a.m. on a Wednesday? Cost extra, but they came. 2 guys who didn't ask questions just loaded boxes and furniture into their truck. By 5 a.m., the apartment looked like a staged rental. Clean, empty, soulless. Then I wrote the note. Not a long, dramatic letter. Just a simple card, left on the kitchen counter next to her coffee mug. Cassandra, you were right, I couldn't live without you. So I decided to live with myself instead. The lease is paid through the end of the month. After that, it's all yours. Literally. I've taken only what I paid for. I've left everything you contributed to our home. I think you'll find it's less than you thought. Your half of the utilities are on auto-pay from your account now. I've removed myself from all shared subscriptions. Your phone plan has been separated. You'll need to set up your own payment method by Friday or it'll be suspended. I'm not at Jake's. I'm not at my mom's. I'm somewhere you never bothered to know I wanted to be. You said I was boring and predictable. Consider this my plot twist. Don't contact me. I blocked your number before I wrote this. The boring guy who actually left. I placed her apartment key next to the note. Took one last look around. The place looked exactly like our relationship. All surface, no substance. My phone buzzed. Jake texting, "Dude, you good? Cass just asked if you were here." Me, "I'm great. Tell her whatever you want. Where are you?" Me following through. The movers took everything to the storage unit. I drove to a hotel, checked in for a week, and fell asleep smiling for the first time in months. She wanted excitement. She was about to get it. Update 2, I woke up around 2 p.m. to my phone exploding. Not from Cassandra. I'd blocked her everywhere. But apparently she'd gone nuclear on social media, and our mutual friends were reaching out. Portia. "What did you do?" Cass is freaking out. Jake, "Bro, she showed up here looking for you, completely unhinged." My sister, "Did you really take everything?" She's posting pics of an empty apartment. I ignored most of them, but I did check Instagram from a burner account. Big mistake. Huge. Cassandra had posted a series of stories. The first was a video of the apartment, panning across empty walls, the lone couch, hers, the kitchen with its 3 plates and novelty mugs. Caption, "Came home to this. He took everything while I was asleep. Everything." The comments were brutal. Half supporting her, calling me every name imaginable. The other half pointing out the obvious. If I took only what I paid for, what exactly did she contribute? Her next story was a screenshot of her bank account. $247. Caption, "He removed himself from all our bills without telling me. Now everything's overdrafting." Someone commented, "Girl, why was he paying your bills anyway?" She deleted that comment real quick. But the best part? She posted a photo of my note. I guess she thought it would make me look bad. The comments were not what she expected. "Wait, he was paying for your phone too? So you laughed at him for wanting you to do dishes?" Bestie, this is embarrassing for you. Sounds like you fumbled a good man. She dirty deleted everything within an hour. Then came the flying monkeys. Her mom called my mom. Her best friend texted my sister. Her cousin somehow found my LinkedIn. All with the same message. Theo needs to stop being petty and return her things. My mom, bless her, responded to Cassandra's mom. What things? He only took what he purchased. Are you saying your daughter didn't contribute anything to their home in 2 years? Radio silence after that. But Cassandra wasn't done. Oh no. See, she'd gotten comfortable with a certain lifestyle. My boring, predictable lifestyle that paid for everything. And now she was facing reality. Day 3, she tried to log into our Netflix, password changed. HBO? Same. Disney Plus? Nope. Girl had to actually sign up for her own streaming services. Day 4, her phone got suspended. She had to borrow Porsche's to call the phone company. Guess who hadn't updated her payment method in time? Day 5, the apartment complex called her about the missing furniture during a routine inspection. Apparently, furnished apartments require keeping the furniture. She had to explain why half the listed items were gone. They threatened to charge her for the missing pieces. That's when she tried the nuclear option. She showed up at my job. Update 3. I was in a meeting when reception called. There's a Cassandra here demanding to see you. Says it's an emergency. I knew this would happen. That's why I'd already talked to HR and security. Tell her I'm unavailable. If she refuses to leave, call security. 10 minutes later, my boss knocked on the conference room door. Theo, we have a situation. Cassandra was in the lobby crying, full performance mode. Mascara running, shoulders shaking, the works. Security was already there, but she'd attracted a crowd. My boyfriend abandoned me, she wailed to anyone who'd listen. Left me with nothing, I just need to talk to him. I walked out calmly, ex-boyfriend, and you need to leave. Theo. She tried to rush toward me, but security stepped in. Please, I'm sorry, I didn't mean what I said. Which part? That I'm boring? That I'd come crawling back? Or that you contributed anything to our relationship? I was drunk. I was upset. You know I don't handle stress well. Being unable to do dishes isn't stress, Cassandra. It's laziness. She switched tactics, turned to the growing audience. We were together 4 years. He just left. No warning. No warning? I pulled out my phone, started reading our old texts out loud. Cass, please pay your half of rent. Cass, can you grab groceries? Cass, the electric bill is overdue. Cass, we need to talk about household responsibilities. Should I keep going? I have hundreds. Her face went red. That's private. So was our relationship, until you decided to make it public on Instagram. Security started guiding her out. She tried one last manipulation. I'll tell everyone about your anxiety, about your therapy, about how you cried when your dad. Go ahead. I'm not ashamed of mental health or grieving my father, but you should be ashamed of using it as ammunition. She left, but not quietly. That night, she did exactly what she threatened. Posted a long rant about my anxiety, my control issues, how I was emotionally abusive for expecting her to contribute. The response wasn't what she expected. My coworker commented, so he has anxiety and still managed to support you both? King behavior. Her own friend wrote, Cass, this ain't it. You're making yourself look worse. Even better? My therapist, who I'd been seeing for 2 years, had heard about the situation from me. When I showed her Cassandra's posts, she offered to write a statement if I needed it for any legal reasons. Financial abuse is still abuse, she said, and what she's describing isn't anxiety-driven control. It's a man asking for basic partnership. But Cassandra's biggest mistake was yet to come. See, in her desperation, she forgot about something important, something I'd been very careful about documenting. Her boutique business. Final update. For 2 years, Cassandra had been running what she called a boutique styling business. She'd buy clothes online, mark them up 300%, and sell them as curated pieces to her followers. The business was registered in my name. Why? Because when she started, her credit was shot from defaulted student loans. She needed someone with good credit to set up the business accounts, get the wholesale licenses, everything. Just temporarily, she'd said, until I get my credit fixed. That was 2 years ago. What I discovered when I started separating our finances was interesting. The business account, which remember was in my name, showed some fascinating patterns. Revenue, $72,000 over 2 years. Reported to IRS, $8,000. Where the rest went? Personal purchases, trips with friends, cosmetic procedures. She'd been committing tax fraud. In my name. I'd kept every receipt, every bank statement, every email where she assured me she was handling the taxes. Even found texts where she bragged to friends about her tax-free side hustle. So when she escalated to threatening legal action for financial abuse, I played my final card. My lawyer, yes, I'd hired one, sent her a simple letter. Dear Miss Cassandra, we represent Mr. Theodore last name regarding your recent allegations of financial abuse and demands for support. Please be advised that Mr. Last Name has discovered significant irregularities in the business registered under his name, specifically regarding unreported income totaling approximately $64,000 over the past 2 years. Mr. Last Name is prepared to file amended tax returns and pay all outstanding obligations. However, as the person who actually operated said business, you may be liable for penalties for tax evasion, interest on unpaid taxes, potential criminal charges for fraud. We recommend you cease all contact with Mr. Last Name and consult with a tax attorney immediately. If you continue to harass Mr. Last Name at his place of employment or on social media, we will pursue all available legal remedies, including reporting the tax fraud to the appropriate authorities. Sincerely, law firm name. The silence was deafening. All her posts disappeared, her Instagram went private. Mutual friends said she'd gone off-grid to focus on healing. But the best part? The IRS doesn't forget. 3 months later, I got a notice that they were investigating the business. I provided all documentation showing I was merely the registered owner, not the operator. Every email, every text, every piece of evidence showing Cassandra ran everything. Last I heard through the grapevine, she owed $23,000 in back taxes and penalties. Her parents had to bail her out. Again, as for me, I found a nice 1-bedroom apartment downtown. Closer to work, great gym in the building. I furnished it with pieces I actually chose, not just whatever she pointed at. My anxiety? Better than it's been in years. Turns out, when you're not constantly managing someone else's life, you have energy for your own. I started dating again after 6 months. Met a woman named Elise at a cooking class. She owns her own business, legitimately, pays her own bills, and get this, actually does the dishes without being asked. The first time she stayed over, she offered to cook breakfast. When I said she didn't have to, she laughed. I want to. That's what partners do. Partners. Real ones. Cassandra tried reaching out once more about a year later. New number, long text about how she'd grown and learned from her mistakes. How she realized I was the best thing that ever happened to her. I didn't respond, but I did laugh. Not the mocking laugh she'd given me, just a quiet chuckle at the irony. She was right about one thing that night. I couldn't live without her. I couldn't live without her taking my money, my energy, my self-worth. Without her making me feel boring for wanting basic respect. Without her laughing at my completely reasonable requests. She laughed when I said I'd leave, said I'd come crawling back. Plot twist. Boring, predictable. Theo was the most exciting thing that ever happened to her. She just didn't know it until the bills came due. The note I left made her realize that when someone shows you who they are consistently for 4 years, believe them. And when they finally follow through on their promises, don't be surprised. I said, watch me.